We're wrapping it up with number 11.
Art is magic. Everyday magic for everyone. And while the Toledo Museum of Art has one of the richest art collections in the world, it faced a problem. Its magic sat apart from the community it loves and calls home. TMA wants to transform the 21st Century Museum. It wants to champion unseen and diverse perspectives. So the rebrand started by borrowing some of that magic. We first developed a strategic launch pad, the transformative power of art for all of Toledo. And it all starts with the letter T, which has deep roots at the museum. And now it can symbolize its transformative future. So we celebrate with a dynamic T icon, a symbol of the ever-emerging future of art that marks the museum's first step into the digital age. The typography selections draw inspiration from the historical styles the museum has used over the years, and the overall design of the typographic system applications were shaped by the museum's visual history. The visual identity pays homage to Toledo's rich history as the city of glass. The symbolism of glass is infused within the identity and applications from online to on campus. You never look at the same painting twice. You never enter the same art museum twice. This new identity for the Toledo Museum of Art embodies that transformation, allowing the community to always see itself reflected, and forging the museum into the model museum it is ready to become.
Number 11. Oh my goodness. Lafayette American and also Scorpion Rose Studio involved with this as well. I've seen this before. I've seen this case study before. I think I saw it at Cannes. And
you might have.
Yeah. And I was just looking at this going, this is really, really good. Okay, so Toby, you're by yourself, and then I got a crew. Are you in New York?
We're in Detroit. They're in Detroit.
They're in Detroit.
Yeah.
Holy shit! We're coming to Detroit in January.
We will be greeting you with conies in hand. It will be fantastic.
Our first Indies only summit is going to be the end of January in Detroit. Yes, I said it. The end of January. Your compatriot at Decal, Adam Wilson, it is helping us cook this up.
We're big fans of Mr. Wilson. He is a grand convener.
Oh my God, yes he is. All right, so Detroit in the house. Walk us through how this project even got there, what the brief was, and how you decided to tackle it.
I mean, the brief was pretty straightforward. They had, a brand, a logo, really, not really any kind of complete brand system that had been around for a little while. They were coming out of COVID. They needed to connect. It's a really interesting museum because it's embedded in the neighborhood. It's not like, downtown. And they needed to create a voice that would speak both, to the world and to the people 2 blocks away, right? So
right.
We were able to come to them with, as Adam Levine, the director said, we gave him a choice that was, we always give our clients choices. We gave them a safe choice and a good choice and then an ambitious choice that would make him nervous. And God bless him. He's like, I guess I got to go with the ambitious choice.
We were talking about this.
We just ran from there.
Okay, so this goes back to a conversation I had with someone earlier today. I'm not going to bust out who they are, but Client 101. We need to talk that. It is 1, 2, and 3, and you always hope for 3. Yeah. So Detroit folks, introduce yourselves. Let's go around and tell us what you do at the agency.
Meg, head of design at Lafayette American and partner, and also at Scorpion Rose Studio. And then we have a whole crew here.
Yeah, we're all so thrilled. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm the head of client services at the agency.
Right on.
Bruna over here, director of social.
Hi, Katie, senior social strategist.
Do you have one more behind you?
We got a couple more. They're all
around. They're all around us. There's only so many you can.
Fine. All right. That's
what happens when you're ambitious.
Yeah.
So what's most rewarding about doing this kind of work? Because listen, we in this business, we all do big brand work. Fuse Create's a great example. I encourage people to search Fuse Create on Indie Agency News to look at what we did with one of their clients, museum in Canada. It's really important to understand that there's just like the scale and scope. And yes, the big brand work is incredibly rewarding, but I have to say that projects like this, they hit a little bit differently.
100%. I mean, I think that, kind of going back to the original mission, it's so obviously ridiculously gratifying when, you get a Cannes Lion and everything. But, when they also reach out and say, by the way, the people we haven't been able to reach and the people who haven't been coming to this museum from the neighborhood are now kind of coming in, we're seeing double-digit growth. You're like, okay, well, I mean, that effectiveness, that idea of breaking through, that idea of reaching people and making them to connect to something in the community that's been there all along, right? And making that happen is incredibly satisfying.
Well, and here's another point. So Some Odd Pilot obviously doing great work with Lollapalooza in Chicago, and here I might get a little emotional here. I'm half Italian, so do the math. But when I hear an agency, especially, specifically an indie agency, when they say well, we're just doing this for our city. You know what? Lafayette American's doing world-class work that lives in Toledo. Some Odd Pilot is doing world-class work that lives in Chicago and lives all these. So never use the word just. It's world-class work that happens to live somewhere. And so I tell indies all the time, you're doing great work. You deserve to be in all of those rooms. Get the word just out of your vocabulary, because what you just said, Toby, the meaning that it has for the people of Toledo is huge. And ultimately, you want to see the metrics, but at the same time, there's that qualitative side of it. And those of you in Detroit, at the office, what was most rewarding to you, and what's been the most fun thing to see?
I think to Toby's point, in the end of the case study video, one of my favorite parts is all the screenshots from social and blogs and comments from people in Toledo that are just so proud to call it their museum. And I think those for me are the most rewarding moments, because you truly then are like, okay, we created the brand truly for the community that surrounds it, and then beyond. So again, all the way to France, to Cannes.
Right. Yeah. No, it's amazing. And listen, I've, from my ad week days to, mainly the ad week days. The drum days were a little different. They're a little bit of a blur. But yeah, I've sat back and quietly watched all of you for a very long time, not in a creepy way, but in a very, just going, God, they just consistently do great work. So congratulations on landing at number 11. Thank you for supporting this award.